Oh, there we go. It's working. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I've been sipping on milk and beer, which is helping my throat. Not at the same time. Just, well, yeah, it sounds weird, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Alright, you know what? What I was going to do, I left it elsewhere, and I'll be right back. Hold on. Watch out, Brian. Okay, let me see. Alright, so today is me doing challenge 73. I poked around at it quite a bit already, so... Oh, frankly, this is for my root canal. I've got a root canal tomorrow. Yay! It's a party in my mouth. Party in my mouth. It's a party in my mouth. It's a root canal. Most exciting thing you could imagine from here to Studied How. Okay. So, yeah, I have worked on it. Oh, I think I may have done it already. Dang it. Well, you know, I'm going to do it again here. And I'll talk about why I do it. Since I've already done it, I think I'm going to just do it as I did it in this. And, yeah, if I can find a place to put this piece of paper. Oh, so I've got a towel in front, draped over the microphone and in front of it. Because I'm trying to reduce that whole reflected sound thing as a poor man's attempt. And I seem to misplace the bits and pieces from my portable, very tall thing where you hang clothes and the like on, or actually hangers on. And it would be great. I could have it behind me with towels and such to help dampen reflected sound as well. But I don't think I can do that this time. We're just going to try with the towels and see how that goes. Hang on a moment. Wet my whistle. About the only way I can do this. So let's go ahead and bring up this. I brightened this in hopes that it's clear. Last time I did a prose bit, and it didn't do me much good because for my last one it was too damn dim. That's all there is to it. And I really ought to screw it. I think this will work. Alright, we're gonna bring up both of these. Alright. So I'm not doing separate directory. You know what? I am going to do that. Hang on. DR 72. We'll just call it 72. Let's move everything in there. Cool. Now there are two, but I've only gotten one done. They aren't complicated, but it takes me time because I get distracted. And, you know, I'm not the awesomest programmer in the universe, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're gonna 7, 3. This time I'm gonna call it 0.1. That's easier to type. So what we're gonna do is, because I'm dumb enough not to have this automated, I'm going to have to do this whole thing by hand. I can't type. Alright. Oh, that was... I just took a screenshot for no good reason. God bless it, I hit the print screen on my computer by accident instead of the because print screen's right there on this ThinkPad. Frack me. Oh, it doesn't hurt anything. Even though I never really use it. Oh, yeah, I do use it. What am I saying? Well, this time I think I will. Now, I'm getting used to using things like list util and was it number util? I think it's number util or scalar util or something like that. I'm getting used to using this. Last time I did this. Oh, I screwed that up. Hang on. Last time I did this, where out of this library I used specifically this function, which finds the minimum of a supplied a list, which you can actually make rule of one of those really easy yourself, but it's good to have this here just this way. Although I might write this myself just to illustrate it and how Perl might work. Now there's another way to do this. I can do this too. QW this, which means that this the QW means quote word, which allows you to not have to use commas or quotes or anything. You can just say min, max, foo bar. I don't think there's a foo bar in there, but min, max, foo bar, and you now have four different routines imported from the library. I'm just importing one. All right, so we got that. Now I experimented with something here. I want to try this, so I actually put this in later, but I'm going to put it in now. My test. And I need to turn on the light. So test is a hash dictionary for some folks. I don't know what else we call it, associative array. But it's a hash. And what I'm going to use that for is a roll my own, because I don't know, there are test suites that people use for different languages, and same with Perl, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it this way because I'm an idiot, and that's all right. So now, this is the way I imagine doing it. Oh shoot, I forgot to tell you what this is about. Dang it, hang on. Oh, I hope I can remember it. So let's go ahead. Okay. Take an array, right? Take a window of size n. I'll explain window in a moment. Slide the window down the array and pick array. I'm going to try it this way. Pick the smallest value in the window each iteration. I guess that's a good way to put it. So what we're looking at is, imagine you've got an array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry. Makes me think of Sesame Street. Okay. I guess if it's something to wash out my mouth. Or not wash it, to wet my whistle. Okay. So, you start off with the window being size 3, maybe. It's the first part of the first, it's 1, 2, 3. Then the next iteration, it's 2, 3, 4. The next iteration, it's 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, etc. A window of 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that kind of thing. And each time you pick the smallest value, and that's not a complicated thing. The point of the challenge is to practice reasonable or different coding techniques and to try to figure out different ways to do it. And this is a really good thing if you want to learn a new language, because most of these challenges aren't too complicated. So you should hopefully be able to find a way to do it with whatever language you're working on. And if you don't, it will be a challenge. And if you do, well, there you go. I don't know, something like that. I think it's a reasonable way to go about things. It's fun too. Even folks who are really good programmers like doing this because it helps them think a little bit. It doesn't make them come up with insane or really clever solutions unless they want to. Well, that's good. Okay. So we're going to do test. Test, by the way, I'm going to leave it empty. Let me blow my nose. I'm going to leave it empty. And there's a way to do introspection on these things. Dang it. I don't remember how to look that up. And maybe that's a Raku thing, but I'm pretty sure Perl does it too. Maybe a library, but I think you can do it straight up. Well, what I'm going to do is Actually, in test, I'm going to put the different functions or subroutines in there, the names as keys, and then the value would be debugging information, that kind of thing. I don't know. I'm trying out this kind of fun. Poor man's debugger, right? All right. So we're going to let's go ahead and I'm looking at that. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, yeah. So let's go my smallest. I'll call it my smallest of the values, right? Equals the smallest value from each window, where we talked about window, of an array. Pop. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and let's make it. And then what we're going to actually do is I'm going to put lists like so, because I'm going to test them individually as we go along. And, you know, also have the test hash there for work. Okay, so let's do the smallest value, or should we do of an array? Let's do of an array. So the array, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make one random, right? My array equals, I'm not sure, is there a way to do that? I think there might be a better way to do this, but I'm going to do it this way anyway. So we're going to use map int and 20. And I'll explain that. 1 dot dot 10. I don't know if I need parentheses. I don't know if I need parentheses for this or not. I usually put parentheses, but I'm going to try without to see what happens. So let's look at this. The array will be getting the results of map. Map is getting the numbers 1 through 10, but those numbers are going to be ignored. It's just to make map run 10 times. Map will take a random of 0 to 19.999999, if I remember right. I don't remember how that works. And then integer, which truncates it. It could be anything from 0 to 19. So, let me sorry about that. Talking too much. Let's keep going. I do this because I can. Alright, let's go ahead and test. Yeah, this is definitely a global variable, right? Test of an array, which, by the way, I wish I could do the introspection thing. I'm not sure about. Equals. Oh, by the way, all right, that means this is a reference to an array. This isn't the full array. If you send the array by itself, if you put the if you do this, you're going to end up, test of an array will end up with the value of 10, because this specifically asks for a single value. And when an array sends back a single value, or in a scalar context, it's the number of elements in the array. So instead, what you do is you provide a reference to the array. And a reference is a single value, but you use that to find the elements of the array later. Now, I'm also going to do, I'm returning the array, at this point, probably won't change it, as an array. I could do with that if I want to, it doesn't matter. So this is returning a whole bunch of separate values in an array context. Alright, so now we're going to test it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to of an array. I don't know if I need to, I'm going to do it without parentheses, see what happens. And then I'm going to print dumper test. Just test. Oh, wait. So it'll show it all. Yeah, that works. So it's going to print test, and using this helps me separate out the bits. I don't quite understand how it all works, but it works. Okay. That looks good. Let's see what happens. I'm going to change the, give this writable, or executable. Okay, let's see, we're at 16. Yep. So I do have to do this. Okay, cool. So what this says is this does not need parentheses, but this does need parentheses. Darn it. Oh well. Never tell. So see, you got one. Oh, this is nice, isn't it? Nice. There it is. In theory, 0 to 19. Yeah. That looks pretty good. Let's write it again. Different values. So I think we've got that going okay. Nice. Alright, so we have of an array. So I'm going to leave that down there. We're going to do the next one. We're going to do from each window. So from each window is going to get the sub of an array, right? So we got the array. Now here's the thing. I'm returning this whole thing, comes back, right? And if we look at this, of an array gets shoved right into from each window, which means that the arguments, all the arguments are individual elements of the array, all numbers. So I'm going to use this. Use the default array to get all those pretty numbers. Okay, so we don't have to do anything like that special. Now, I'm actually going to do it straight. I'm not going to ask for input this time. I'm just going to do my window equals, let's go with 4. I'll put that, change for input wanted. Something like that. This is just testing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, and yeah, I know this is weird. Why am I doing so little? It's because I'm separating out the concerns very carefully so that I can do more stuff later. It's silly, but it works. So test. Oh, that's right. I remember. Okay, so I forgot. Okay, hold on. So this is what I'm going to have to do. Oh, this is bad. I'm looking at what I did before, and I'm really, that's not a good way to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do my windows equals slide map, and I've done this before, that's why I remember now what I'm doing. That this is a reference to this default array. It's already in there. Seems weird, but I'm used to it, so it's not a biggie in my brain. Then a window. Pop. So windows will be all that, and then after that, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to test. What is this? From each window equals windows. And that's going to contain the windows in theory. Then we return that. Okay, now I have to make this. And this is going to be, I'm going to put this way at the bottom because I consider it I'm going to actually edit it as, I'm going to do this. How about this? Utilities. The idea is that, oh, frack me. There we go. So utilities are things like I'm about to make stuff that are extra that don't go well thematically with the rest of what's going on. That don't flow. So usually extra things that need to be done that you might separate out, like sum and maybe a factorial, something like that maybe. Alright, where are we? Oh, there's slide map. Did I do that right? Oh yeah, I've done this before. Okay. And I did it recently too, only with some confusion, but. So slide map. Slide map's getting two things. It's getting an array reference. Did I do it as an array reference? Yeah, okay. So slide map is array reference, so my array reference and oh shoot, span. That's right. Why does it do that? I don't know. And of course I do this now that I can, because I can now talk about it if I want to. So I can say, okay, can be anything, right? Could be reference of reference, who knows? Window size slide. I'm just going to say window size and we'll talk about it later maybe. So window size, since we're talking about windows, I don't know, think about better ways to talk about it. Okay. So what we're going to do is return aref and there's a reason I'm doing it this way, unless span. That's not going to work. That is not going to work. Oh, frack me. It needs to be spammed at least once, so I don't like this. I feel wrong because I should be doing it this way. Because the thing is, it's expecting a whole bunch of the span is 0. Now, you know what we're going to do? Oh, I'm going to do it this way. Span equals 1 unless span. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm just going to say if there's nothing there, we're minimal. We're going to run minimal. And then I'll run all the code as is. If there is something there, cool. And the span of 1 is, well, 1. So, there. All right, now. Now adjusted span equals span minus 1 off beware by 1 off by 1 error, because the way it works actually a span of 1 ends up being like a span of 2 like a span of 3, etc. So you adjust it. I'm leaving a span as is so it can be a pristine value. I don't have to worry about immutable values or anything like that, but I'm pretending that that's what it is because I want to hold on to the old span. So I'm decided to do so. Oh wow, okay, so we're going to do, alright, now here's the big one, and we're going to map. Okay, so mapping, separate it out. Making it big so you can see it. Alright, we're going to be mapping this. What's in here is the stuff that's going to be doing the work. Here, you know what? I think I can go without that though. Remember, adjusted span. Oh, no. Chuta. Hang on. Adjusted span. dot. All right, let's look at that. Let's separate this out. That's me screwing up. This is just turn it off. All right, fine. Let's separate this out and try to figure out what's going on. Okay, so adjusted span is simply 1 less than the span given. So if it says if you have a span of 3, it becomes a span of 2, and I'll explain that later. So that's adjusted span. Then the number, whatever it is, say 2, all the way up to the last element, not the value, but the element. So if you have a 10 element array, the element number is 9 because it's 0 indexed. This gives us that this is an array reference. This right here says give me that number that I was telling you about, and you have this actually because you're dealing with a reference. If this were a straight up array, this is what you would look like. An array would be to get that last element index number. So that's why it looks like this. So 2, 0, 1, 2, get it? 0, 1, 2, so that's why you reduce by 1 because you index 0. From 2 until the last number, which I think is 9 because it's 0 through 9. If we do that, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 0 through 9 here. So from 2 to 9, assuming that span is 3. Oh, span is 4, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, I did a span of, did I do a span of 4? Right here. Window 4. I call it span down here because that's what I think of. Alright. So, that's 3, 0 to 3 to 9. Now the next part. The next part is this stuff here, right here, that's the map. Everything inside. This says, right here, that we're going to be passing each time something is passed through the map function out, it's wrapped up in an array reference, an anonymous array reference, which is great because that anonymous array reference can go get sent to, packaged up nicely and go into another array or hash or whatever. It's like, think of this like a nice little package. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that the array reference is actually an array. And here's the fun part. We're going to do this, which is, hope I'm doing this right. No, wait, it's this minus adjusted span, oops, dot, this. Alright, oops. So let's look at this. I'm separating it out here. Well, I'm trying to make it as clear as possible. You know, this is why people say, "Is this line noise?" But it isn't. It's actually sensible. So this right here again. Oh, I'm missing. Hang on a moment. There we go. All right, there. Array reference. Right here. This array reference pretends that it's a real array. This wraps the array reference in a pretend array. So you can do it, mess with it as if it were a real array. And then this part here, that's not a reference. That actually says it's a subscript instead. And a subscript means that it's actually a modifier to all of this. And subscript, when it says an element of an array, but when you're looking at this sigil here, that means it's saying we're looking at a whole bunch of elements at once, so that means you get an array slice. And the first part of the array slice is this, and it's the value, whatever it is, minus adjusted span. And since the first value given to map is the adjusted span itself, is adjusted span minus adjusted span, that span is always 0, so the first element is 0. All the way to whatever the last element is. Or I'm sorry, not the last element, no. All the way to, God, I'm such an idiot. All the way to that element. So 3 minus 3 is 0 to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. And that gives you 4 elements. Remember I said that the window in this case is 4 that we've decided on. And that means that you get 0 to 3. And then when you know what? I need to do something here to make it a little better. Hold on. Oh, dang it. All right. So at 0 to 3, 1 to 4, 2 to 5, all the way to 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 0 to 9 is, of course, a 10-element array. And yeah, it takes getting used to. But once you do get used to it, once you're comfortable with it, you don't need all this extra space. You can have it if you want to. You don't need it. In fact, I would, generally speaking, get rid of all of the spaces here. It's a long way, all right. Now you can actually do this. You can do it this way instead. And now you have this very short, oops. I have this very short map, and this looks crazy, but it's not. As I explained to you, it's not crazy at all. It's just very expressive. There's a lot of information in a little bit of space. It's all right there. There's no trickery, nothing special. All right, now, actually I don't need that because I'm returning that value straight up. Oops. Oh, jeez. Do I want to do it that way? I think it's okay. It doesn't hurt anything. I think it's clear enough. And that's it. That's slide map. All right, now let's see. Now go back up here. So we have this. So we're going to test it. Let's go back up. Print number test. Now we're going to run here. Well, who knows if it's going to work, if I screwed something up. Oh, yes, I did. I definitely screwed something up. I always do. Let's see what I screwed up. Oh! Oh my gosh. Boy, let's try it again. Alright, so I'm going to look at this. Let's look syntax error. That's probably what we're going to look at first. Probably this might be the root of everything. So line 58, we're going to go there. Oh, for frack. Huh. This is the problem. Right there. We have to put an assignment statement. Alright, so now we got that. So let's look at global symbol adjust span. Yep. So I didn't declare adjusted span. There it is, I didn't. I can do that. Oh, let me put a space in there just to make it clear. How's that? Oh, frack me. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's what we're doing there. There we go. Okay. So all my errors were mistakes, syntax errors. Let's see what we got. So here's the beginning. Here's the array. So we should see four. The first four should be 1, 15, 12, 7. And 1, 15, 12, 7. There it is. Then 15, 12, 7, 0. Then 12, 7, 0, 7. So 1, 15, 12, 7. 15, 12, 7, 0. 12, 7, 0, 7. The last should be 7, 18, 7, 16, 6, 16. There it is. That's good. That works pretty good. Now, if you will look at something, I assigned windows and then I went ahead and gave that a reference to it. I'd be careful though, references can modify the original. So I wish, and I wonder if there's a way to force immutability in these cases. I think that's a worthwhile trait to have. That's all right. It's nothing I can't deal with. Okay, so we've got from each window of an array. So let's go ahead and do the smallest value. Alright, now the smallest value looks like I'm doing it from here. Sub. Alright, again, it's going to be this, right? Because it's got to be average, right? Now, this is where we're going to use min. We're going to use min here. What do we gonna get? How are we gonna do this? I've done it before. This is what I did before. Ha. Of course, I've been changing it. So, oh, huh? Is that how I wanted to do it? I'm using, according to this, I'm using map. According to this, I'm using map rather than a for loop. I used map before, so I think this time I'm going to use the for loop. How's that sound? So let's do a for loop instead of map. For loops are better for bigger data sets, by the way, because map kind of likes to hold everything all at once, evidently, and then spit it all out or do bad. Yeah, so it gets really memory full, I think, as far as I understand. Let me check something. Yeah. It's 1942. Okay. Where am I? All right. Where are we? Yeah, the smallest value. Okay, so we're going, in this case, we're going to for loop. So we already know it's array ref, so that's fine. We have to expect that. So we're going to, this time we're going to provide smallest. My smallest values. All right, so oh yeah, push. We're going to use push notation. So we're going to push smallest for. I think that's all I have to do. Okay, so let me explain something here. Yeah, default, right? Well, when you do this, it grabs each and every array element of this array, and pops it into whatever its body is. Now, this is a for loop. What's this called? Post? I don't know what this is called. I can't remember. I'm just so used to using it. So for every element here, you push that element on the smallest. Do you remember? Did we use? I don't know. Yeah, we did. We did in the map. We used this. Remember this? Remember this? This is the default variable right here. This default variable is actually in here. So actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'll show you what it is. Okay. And I screwed that up, by the way. There's no comma here. The comma is here. There. So, in fact, you can even do this if you want to. Don't think I need to. All right. So, push this onto the back end of smallest, and this is each element of this one at a time. That's it. That's all. And if I wanted to do this on a map, I would do it this way. Oops. I would say smallest. Actually, I'd say my smallest, but that's okay. Smallest equals map. Oops, I screwed something up. I forgot. I forgot the whole min thing. Right, that's it. Now, I forgot min, so I have to have this anyway. So let's go min pop. I think that's all I need to do. Min in here, I do have to do this. I screwed up, or I would have screwed up if I had thought about it. There. This way or this way will work. I'm going to comment this way out for now, because I'm going to test this one. Now, normally, and I think I might have to, normally I'd have to do this. I hope not, because it's fun not. I don't want to, because it's fun to not. I don't know, it's just me. And this is, remember, this is an array reference, and that little @ symbol says let's pretend it's a real array. And here's why. Min doesn't take a reference as far as I know. I've tried before, it didn't seem to work. It does take a series of numbers. So when I turn this array reference into an array, it spits out all its numbers. And min says, yay, I've got all these numbers. Well, actually, it doesn't spit out those numbers. What happens is it gets sent to min as arguments. And since each number is its own argument, instead of a reference, no, it works. All right, let's see what happens. The smallest value. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to test the smallest value equals smallest. And then I'm selling something funny. Hang on. I'm gonna check something right quick. I'll be right back. Either a cat farted or did something highly inappropriate. Either I'm just imagining things. That cat is kind of messed in the head. Actually, I'm messed in the head. Nope, the cat is lying there doing nothing, looking at me like I'm insane, which is true. I am mildly touched. Okay, so we're okay. Smallest good, and we already have that here. It should run, and if it doesn't, it's my fault. I'll blame the cat. Oh, frack me! That is not what I expected. Oh, there it is. Huh. That is not what I expected. Well, maybe it is. Let's see. So the first window is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This. And this is 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first 4 are 6, and now 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks correct. Then 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my gosh, it worked. It worked. The smallest value. And of course, I probably could rearrange things to make it, what are you looking at, cat? To make it, more reasonable test. I don't know how to do testing. Don't ask me. I'm clueless about that. Probably should know, but I don't. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to not print dumper test. We'll leave that there. I'm going to simply say. And remember, I had to do this last time. I don't know why, so there. 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 6. I have no idea what that I have no idea that's right. Because yeah, that's dumb. Alright, well, let's go back to printing the dumper. Then I'll have to, what I think I may have to do is actually, see, the way I have it set up is I'm doing it individually, and I'm not saving the old data. I think this is a dumb way to do it, but that's okay. I did it anyway, so screw me. I'll use test. God, I'm an idiot. Alright, so probably a way to prettify this. Alright, so we have 2 zeros and a 5. 0, 0, and 5 is small, so that's good. And then 6, 6, 6, 6. Oh my gosh, all 6s after that. 6, 6, yep, that's it. So what we'll want to do is I'm going to change this. Let's make it 3. I'm going to reset so I don't see the past stuff. Oh yeah, see that? That's interesting. Let's look at this last 3. 5, 10, 10. 10. 10. 5. This one should say 1. There's 1. This one also says 1. Yep. And then the one above should say 1. It does. Then 11 and 8 are the lowest ones there. Yep. 11 and 8. That works. It's crappy dumb, but it works. So what I'm going to do is I am going to shrink this down a bit. Oh yeah, I did do that. Okay, so I'm going to kill this. Don't worry about it. I'll leave that there. Trying to this bottom one, let's go. I think this is worthwhile looking at here, because even though this looks dense, people I think might find this kind of thing useful. Let me get in there a little bit so you can see it better. This is just plain, yeah, it's just plain useful. So let's say you have a bunch of values. Let's say you have uptimes CPU loads on your computer, and you're trying to figure out a rolling average. This is what you use, or one thing you can't use. Every 5 minutes, you get that new CPU and you drop off the old one. Well, great. But what about your old data? You can use this after compiling boatloads of CPU data. Every 10 minutes, you store CPU value or some other value of a load or memory usage or something. And you can use this to come back to it and make your moving average to see what's going on. And the span is your moving average. So do you have an 8-unit average, a 3-unit average, a 20-unit average, a 22-minute average? Well, if it's 22-minute, then I'm guessing you're taking count every minute or so, something like that. Or much faster, who knows. But this is the kind of thing you can do. And it's really quite powerful if you think about it. It's not much. It's just a few lines of code, and you can make it smaller. You can turn this really right here. That's really just one line of code. I separate it out into 3 so it's easier to comment on, to talk about, to document. And this, for instance, you can actually just use span for the whole thing and change it, which I did. I've done this before. I implemented it elsewhere for my own stuff, and I just used span and changed it directly. But in this case, I wanted to adjust it because what if I want to keep span for, say, the test routine or some other information? I wanted to make sure I had that original value available to me, just in case I screwed something up, so I could see it. That's it. I mean, I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna get something here to wet my whistle. You know? Oh man, I missed see, hear that? That's so much better. I missed an episode of BGC, but that's okay. No. BGC. No. BSG. BGC is not BSG. BGC is something else. You ever see that Bubblegum Crisis back in the day? That's all. That was one of my first forays into animation. Besides, well, from Japan. After Robotech was and Voltron were my things when I was a youngin'. There's a lot I missed out on, of course, but those were what I got to see on TV. And then I appreciated BGC and others after that, and started finding things like Orange Road and Mizane Koku for the win, by the way. Yeah. Alright, that's enough. Mizo? How do I pronounce it? I don't know. Okay. I think that's good. I'm done. I'm gonna go to there we go. My why is this doing that? Okay, that's all. That's all. Alright, so I'm leaving this up here in hopes that it becomes for the background. Ooh, I'll do this. There we go. So there we go. Do that before a bit. I should probably do a screenshot of it. Yeah, let me do a screenshot. There we go. Oh, but I could convert it to a lower value. That's how you screw it. I was able to do that if I use it in JPEG. Is it a PNG? I think I converted to a JPEG or something. I have to find out. Oh, God, that's such annoying. Okay, good night, all.